Hey, greetings, everyone, or should I say, Midam and Jess from Albania. I'm Karen Ricks, head chef here at our kitchen classroom, and I just wanted to jump online here on YouTube live to say hi. And oh my gosh, you won't believe what I did. I burned my tea. Oh my goodness gracious. For those of you who've been keeping up with the latest run of brand new blog posts on ourkitchenclassroom.com, you'll notice that I did share something within the last week or so about how much we love tea in our household. I'm not just talking about, we drink tea on occasion or randomly. I mean, around here, it is an everyday thing. And don't get me wrong, I can brew some beautiful teas with the best of them. But I actually got a little distracted here this morning. I turned on the water to boil and then I walked away. It was just going to be for a minute. And yeah, you can guess what happened. I burned my tea. Now, for those of you who are wondering, yes, it is possible to burn tea. What on earth does that taste like? Well, let me back it up for just a second and talk to you about the beautiful, wonderful, delicate intricacies that make up tea. Now, those beautiful little tea leaves, Camellia sinensis, are actually come from the same plant, no matter what kinds of varieties of tea you have. Now, there are a number of different variations within that tea family, but the tea leaves, whether they are grown fully and then dried or smoked or roasted or uh, ground to a powder, they can make up so many different styles and flavors and textures, aromas of tea. And so it's really important that when you want to brew a nice, relaxing cup of tea, that you treat it with the gentle hand that those beautiful leaves deserve. Now, granted, not all teas are the same, and so obviously the way that you choose to brew them is going to be a little different. Now, if you buy a box of whatever tea from your local supermarket, you're likely to find instructions that say, boil the water, steep the leaves for 3 to 5 minutes, and then, drink and enjoy. And that's kind of okay, and what a lot of people have come to expect from a cup of tea, especially if you're getting the almost powdered and pulverized dregs of the black tea leaves that you'll often find in paper bags with a little paper tag on them for steeping from the supermarket. And, there are times when I really love a powdery, pulverized, super strong cup of black tea. But as I said, tea leaves come in so many wonderful and amazing varieties. And the way to get the delicate, to really extract all the most wonderful and subtle flavors of those leaves actually comes at different water and steeping temperatures. Did you know that some tea leaves don't like boiling water? I mean, imagine how you would feel if you were to draw a warm, relaxing bath and then you go to stick your toe in the water and it burns you. Well, that's essentially what happens to a lot of tea leaves, especially the larger the tea leaf, uh, the lighter in color it is. They tend to prefer slightly less than boiling temperatures. Now, what I did here this morning, we have a whole black leaf tea. It's a Darjeeling, something that I found here locally in Albania, and it's wonderful. But as I said, I made the mistake of stepping away from the water. I actually put the tea leaves into the water before it came up to a boil. And yeah, I don't recommend doing that, and I don't recommend walking away because what I did was not just lose track of time for a minute or two, but like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And I boiled the living daylights out of that tea. So, what does a burned tea taste like? Well, when the water is too hot or when it continues to boil, like I did, it actually extracts all of the tannins from the tea. Now, the tannins are part of not only what gives tea its flavor, but also what makes it that dark color, the part that stains your teapot, your teacup, even maybe your teeth. But also what adds those bitter notes to the tea. And so when tea leaves are subjected to water that is too hot or for too long, you extract more and more of those tannins, and with it, the caffeine that is found in tea leaves, and it can make it extra bitter. The flavor can taste a lot stronger than you might prefer. Now, if you just happen to dunk a tea bag in some boiling water for 3 or 4 minutes, you might extract some of the bitterness, and it might be something that you feel comfortable masking with, a spoonful of sugar or a splash of milk, and that's fine. On occasion, I've certainly done that too. In this instance, though, because I literally boiled the tea until it was reduced down to an almost coffee like blackness. Um, well, honestly, I was still curious about just how bad it might taste. So, what I ended up doing was actually cutting the tea. So, it was half of that super boiled, reduced, and bitter tea with some other tea that I'd made from our favorite tea bottle that's living in our refrigerator now, and mixed both of those together. So it was like half decent brew of tea and then half completely overboiled. I added some sugar and a splash of milk, and that's what I have here in my new cup. And I tip it to show you. It really looks, honestly, kind of like chocolate milk. That's how dark the tea got. But the most amazing thing happened. The bitterness that came from the overboiled tea is actually helping to kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just invigorating my taste buds for that bitterness that I've been missing from the Japanese green teas that I haven't had for a while. But it's reminding me with the added sugar of almost a burnt caramel flavor. Do you like caramel? Like the really super dark burnt caramels? I don't usually. But sipping this cup of tea today, I decided I might be willing to give that caramel another try. Anyway, all this long winded ranting is just to say please be kind and gentle to your tea leaves. And the next time you go to steep a cup of tea, if the water comes all the way up to a boil first, you might just let it sit for a minute or two. Let the temperature kind of come back down before you drop those tea leaves in and give them a gentle and kinder soak instead of boiling them to death like I did today. But if you do, just be fearless. Give it a sample. Mix it up with something else and see what happens. You might just discover a new flavor that you like even more. Cheers from our kitchen classroom to yours, and have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon.